I know you shot Chris.
I did not shoot him.
Holly,
I did not shoot him.
This is what I think happened.
No.
On July 18th, 2018, Holly Osborne called 911, claiming that she had just found her husband's body lying in his bed, with several gunshot wounds to the upper body. The police noticed that Holly appeared intoxicated, so she was brought in for interrogation.
Holly, when was the last time you slept?
To be honest with you,
Okay. Did you sleep last night though?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I can't remember it. All I remember is shock when I opened up the bedroom door. So
Sure.
obviously I wasn't. I'm
gonna address something right now. Bro, your husband dead, and you ain't volunteers. As the detective, I would have been, hey, raise his eyebrow. The fuck? My nigga, if I find out my wife, she slaughtered, bullet in the head, my nigga, I'm in that hole. I'm going through it. She more cold than upset.
I wasn't in there because I would have known something.
Right. So, obviously we need to talk about what's going on today. So, let's start with last night. All right. So, you don't work normally? Sometimes you work, but not normally?
I just work for him.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Did you work at the office yesterday?
No.
Okay.
No.
He worked a normal shift. How long have you guys been together? Okay. When did you get married?
We got married September 11th.
Really?
Yeah.
What year?
2015.
So, last night, he comes home from work.
I wasn't there when he came home from work last night.
Where were you at?
Visiting my parents.
Okay. And they're up north somewhere, right?
Yeah, they're up by Bell Fountain.
Okay.
Yeah.
What time did you get home?
Maybe 8. Yesterday I was with my mom and dad because I was upset that he made a phone call to a bartender or whatever in the middle of the night or something.
What was that out of?
Huh?
What was that out of?
I mean,
Why would he call a bartender?
because he was out with his buddies. I told him I said, go ahead and go out with your friends.
Okay, when was that?
Thursday.
Of last week?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think it was Thursday. So I said, go on, go have some fun. And then that night he never came home.
Okay.
And the reason why I knew it was a bartender because he told me. But I remember calling him, asking him to come home. And then he never came home.
He never came home that night?
No, so when he did come home, that's when I left because I wasn't going to fight. I'm like, oh, because he wanted to kind of lay with me and stuff. And I'm like, no, I told you to come home last night. Why did you stay? And then, so that's when I went to my mom and dad's.
What time would he usually go to bed if he had to be at Mary 10 and 7?
Oh, anywhere between 9 and 10.
Okay.
Roughly.
Do you guys not usually sleep in the same room?
Oh, we do. But I'm to stay up that night because I still have my beer.
Okay.
So I was finishing my beer, but then, honest to God, from AV, from drinking the beer, I know I had to take my medicine, so I took my Valium, and I tried them to sleep. And honest to God, I'm like, I don't know if I slept. Did I fall asleep in the garage? Because I usually go out there because I don't smoke in the house.
Okay.
So I'll smoke out there, and then if I'm still drinking the beer, then I'm just...
So you took your meds last night, and do you know where you slept last night?
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I don't even know if I slept at all. Like, because all I remember was walking into the bedroom and seeing him. And then I didn't want to touch him.
I ain't buying it.
We were scared. So I tried to get the phone. I couldn't find mine.
Holly admits that after a long night of drinking, she took her Valium and doesn't remember anything else until she walked into her bedroom and found her husband. Alcohol and Valium don't mix well, and there's a good chance she killed him while she was blacked out. There is also the possibility that she remembers everything.
Honestly, think there's so much shock that I'm numb,
Right.
and I don't want to think about it right now.
I understand.
And I don't know if that's why I can't remember, because usually I don't have that kind of problem.
You took your meds. Did Chris go to bed?
Yeah, he was already in bed.
Okay. You take your meds. What happens next?
And that's where I get fuzzy, because I don't know if I was looking for my phone or what, because that's all I kept thinking about was where the heck is my stupid phone at? And then,
Okay. So you're done smoking your cigarette. What happens next?
I walked into the bedroom
Okay. Why did you walk into the bedroom?
just to do, routine shower, get ready.
Okay. That's where your clothes and stuff are. All right. And describe to me what you see.
All I saw was him laying in blankets,
Okay.
but I seen blood.
The detective draws her attention to a fresh set of scratches on her arm.
Mhm.
Do me a favor. Take a look at your right wrist right here. Your other wrist.
The right one? Oh, it banged into something.
Where'd that come from?
It's hard to say.
I am the most accident-prone person in the world.
Okay.
I
Where'd those come from?
half the time, I don't even know. I could bump into stuff and it don't even hurt. And I could be at work and then I'll have spots and bruises.
Now look at you, hey, devil's advocate. Now I know she's full of shit, but that is true about the snow bunny. The snow bunny, the paler skinned snow bunny, they're bruise prone. They're scratch prone. You know what I'm saying? It don't take much. Now, in her specific case, she killed her fucking husband. You know what I'm saying? But what she's saying ain't a lie.
Look,
If
see?
you know, you know.
I always have, so I started taking vitamin K. So see, I always have, that one hurts.
I would think.
I don't know how that one happened. That one looks new. So, it's hard to say. Now I'm concerned about where the rest of everything else hurts. And I got more. You can see them.
How are things going between you and Chris?
90% of the time, fantastic. Then you got other 10% that's just, he has so much stress,
So
disrespectful.
had that been escalated?
The pause. You know how fucked up it is, like in hindsight, bro. Like you said, your relationship was 90% good, 10% bad, and it only took 10% for you to kill that nigga. Niggas can't win. Niggas can't win. She had the world. That's a really good ratio. That's an extremely good ratio. I'm 90% good nigga, 10% bad nigga, and that 10% outweigh the 90%. Shit, the math don't even make sense on that equation. It don't even. That shit don't even make sense. I can see if you said we was always arguing. This nigga's abusive. This nigga's horrible. Man, nigga, 90% good nigga, 10% bad, and you just, I'm assuming, stab this nigga the fuck up. Damn, bitch.
Lately?
His temperament, yes.
So things were getting a little more difficult?
I'd say so. I agree with that, but it's such a roller coaster. The next week could be fine,
Is that sometimes why you wouldn't sleep in the same bed?
Mm-hmm.
Just easier to go off to your own rooms and Did your arguments ever get to the point where either one of you were pushing or laying hands on each other?
Mm-mm.
Never?
Mm-mm.
Because I've talked to other people, and I know you came from an abusive relationship previously.
Mm-hmm.
So,
The only time I ever touched him was when I slapped his face when I found out he cheated on me. Like, that was before we got married.
okay.
And that was face slap.
Since then, it's never,
Never touched him.
okay. Has he ever touched you?
Mm-mm.
None of those bruises on you are from altercations or pushes or shoves?
They're more from, like, well, they'll know it because it's all in the house. So, a lot of times he was more of the domineering, you might say. But I will just put it this way, 50 Shades of Grey, but worse. So,
Okay, so they were consensual.
yes.
Okay, so just rough sex.
Mm-hmm.
All right, but that was okay with you.
As long as it didn't get too hard, yep.
Okay, so some of those marks are probably from that.
Very possible.
Okay,
Yep.
are any of those marks come from a position of anger?
Mm-hmm. Uh-uh.
Okay, none.
Without realizing it, Holly just threw away her chances at a self-defense claim. A good lawyer would have argued that the bruises and scratches were from her husband, whom she was deathly afraid of. The lawyer could argue that she was so scared to leave him that she believed her only option to end the abuse was to kill him while he slept.
So here's the thing. So Chris had been shot.
Damn.
So why would nobody do anything if they heard something? I don't understand.
That's why I need you to help me.
I'm
No, I understand.
trying, I don't know.
Okay.
Because I would think that, in that small neighborhood, but then I'm like, where the hell was I? Was I need to figure out what I was doing. Was I walking? Was I outside in the garage smoking? Or, I didn't see anybody,
Right.
but that doesn't mean anything. I guess I just trying to concentrate where I was, and I was laying downstairs watching a movie. I don't remember seeing anything. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary.
You're a nurse who's worked in the ER for a good period of time.
Mm-hmm.
So the part I'm having troubles with is you're trained to help people who have been injured,
Mm-hmm.
but you automatically went right for I
911.
think he's dead.
I went for 911, exactly what I should have done.
Well, but you never went back in the room.
No, I was too busy listening to them. They were on. We were doing the messaging thing, and then you guys were there in like less than 5 minutes.
Right. This is the man you love, and you're married to him, right?
Yeah,
And
love my life.
you're the trained medical professional who could render aid if there was aid to be rendered,
I understand what you're saying.
right?
People freeze, and I froze. And right now,
But
I'm still numb.
you went automatically to he's dead.
No, I said I think he is.
Okay, but
I wasn't sure, but that's why I did 911 right away. But I had a really bad feeling because when he didn't answer me and he wasn't at work.
So did she kill him, bro? This is getting stalled out. Hold on, let me fast forward, man.
as it stands right now.
And that's as much as I'm going to say anymore. I can't speculate. I can
Well,
try
I don't want you to
cooperate
speculate. I don't want you to
in
speculate.
any way I can, but I
I think you've been very
I
cooperative
didn't
and very
do it.
helpful with us.
So, right now,
In your story, during that gap of time, your husband is killed.
mhm.
right? You guys are
I know
having,
how bad that looks,
you guys are having some issues,
which that's been going on forever.
right?
I mean, teeter
Right, but
tottering.
you
It's
gotta,
like bad
right,
times.
you gotta put yourself in my position,
Yeah, I understand.
okay?
I already know how it looks.
Right, so, these are obvious questions, and, and I wanna understand, if you're involved in this, what happened. Do you think there's a chance that you could have done this and
No
not be
blackouts.
aware of it?
No.
Without any evidence showing that Holly shot and killed her husband, the police were forced to let her go. During the following week, Holly would take more than $40,000 out of her husband's bank account, and she removed furniture from the home. 2 weeks after her husband's death, the detectives asked Holly to come back in for another interview.
When you were telling me when you found him, the door was cracked to the bedroom?
That's what I remember, yes.
Okay. So I'm going to put my cards on the table, all right? Because I have the gunshot residue test back. I have the DNA test back,
Okay.
all right? Your DNA is the only DNA on that gun. Chris's DNA is not on that gun.
GG.
The gunshot
It's
residue,
impossible.
the gunshot residue, all right, was at a level that was so high they reached their maximum testing, all right? And when people break into a house and they shoot somebody, on their way out, they don't close the bedroom door, just to a crack. So
I
Holly,
understand
listen to
what you're
me.
trying to say.
What I'm trying to say is I know you shot Chris.
I did not shoot him.
Holly, this
I
is
did
what,
not shoot him.
this is what I think happened,
No.
all right? Because of the way everything's set up, you are posting stuff that makes me think that
That is
here we
nothing.
go again.
We could pull them all over again. These
You
are
have-
nothing. This is not making me a
Holly,
killer.
stop, right? You have multiple attempts in the past,
Yeah, for
Right.
myself.
so
I would
here's,
never hurt him, no.
so here's what I think happened, all right? Because when you shot him,
I did not,
you didn't kill him,
I did not
all right?
shoot
Those
him.
gunshot wounds did not kill
I
him,
did not shoot him.
all right? I think you were gonna yourself after you killed him because this had gone too far. You were getting ready to lose everything.
Never take anybody with me.
And here we go, you shoot him, because there's no other explanation for this, Holly. There is no other
I don't
explanation
have
for it.
any explanations. I already gave you everything I know, and I did not do
There's
this.
no other explanation for it, Holly. Nobody just breaks into your house and randomly shoots somebody. BJ did not owe him
I didn't say-
$20,000.
I don't know. I'm just telling you what.
I'm
Chris told
telling
me.
you that for 27 years I've been doing this job, okay? And nothing else shows me that anybody else did this but you. All right? I know you did this.
I did not.
And I can understand the why behind it.
No, there is no why, because I didn't do it.
Holly, the evidence doesn't lie.
No, I did not do it.
The evidence does not lie.
Then how would I sit there and end up with bruises and everything else and with no memory? Explain that
How
one.
did you explain it to me?
I can't,
You
because
guys
I don't know.
you guys had rough sex the Saturday night beforehand, and you get bruises all the time. People tell me
that
that you
is
go
not
down,
that
people
stuff.
tell me you go down the stairs periodically in your alcoholic blackouts.
What do you mean go down the stairs?
You fall.
I do not sit there and fall everywhere, and if I fell on
You
stairs,
tell
I
me
did.
that he hit you then, because up until now, you never said anything
I'm
about
done, I
that.
want a lawyer.
That's fine. You're free to go.
Holly was allowed to leave again, and a year would go by before they would have enough evidence to charge her with murder.
And I represent the state of Ohio on this matter. This is a case of jealousy and insecurity, and how the defendant, Holly Osborne's jealousy and insecurity caused her to kill her husband. The defendant began to fixate on any evidence that pointed towards Christopher Osborne's infidelity. Any evidence of him being unfaithful, day after day, breakup to makeup became the cycle. On or about July 13th, Dr. Osborne went out with some friends. And while he went out, he met a waitress. They engaged in some conversations and exchanged phone numbers. He later went on to text her that night. The defendant found out very quickly, within hours. They began to argue again. His faithfulness was called into question. Those arguments led to the defendant moving out of their marital home and moving in with her parents. Dr. Osborne went to sleep. The defendant didn't. You'll learn that in the early hours of July 18th, the defendant couldn't take it anymore. She went to a nightstand located in their shared room next to their bed, and she armed herself with one of the handguns. She aimed it and shot Dr. Osborne 3 times. You'll hear from neighbors that heard loud noises, bangs.
We, the jury, being duly impaneled and sworn in this case, find the defendant, Holly M. Osborne, guilty of murder as charged in count 1 of the indictment. Members of the jury, this case is adjourned. You are now released from all of your admonitions. If you are open to talking about your experience or have questions, you can remain in the jury room, and I will come back shortly to speak with each of you. As to count 1, murder, the court is going to impose 15 years to life. As there was a 3-year gun specification that's required to be run consecutively to the 15 years, it would be for a total sentence of 18 years to life.
In the end, Holly would be found guilty of murdering her husband because she caught him texting another female. What are your thoughts on this case? Is 18 years in prison?
That's crazy. That's crazy. I ain't never, I done been a horrible individual in life before when it comes to my relationships. You know what I'm saying? I would, that'd just be super unfortunate to die over some side coochie. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause it wasn't it wasn't to die for. I was just fucked up mentally. I was too horny. I ain't trying to die over this shit. You hear me? So, shit's crazy. But let me know what y'all think about this shit down below in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe, get some more dope videos. Right to them in the comments. Appreciate all the love and support I get. I really do. Fuck with me.